Good morning, good morning. Back here in the violet room, playing around with a couple of things. I get a lot of questions about setting leaves, and like I've mentioned in a video before, there's a lot of people out there who have probably forgotten more than I could ever tell you about setting leaves or getting African violet leaves going. When I sit down with a plant and I'm going to pull leaves, I know that plant's going to get trimmed up. If I want to save some of those leaves, I'll drop them into a glass with a little bit of water, label it, and that gives me a few days to, or you can leave them in there for a month and let them root if you want to. But you don't, that way you don't have to set the leaves right away. It gives you some time to think about it or change your mind or take care of them later. If I do 5 or 6 plants at one time, which is usually how I do it, sit down with half a dozen plants and start trimming. And I enjoy that. It's not a work. To me, it's not work. It's something I love to sit down and just mess with the plants. Anyway, I'll put them in a glass like this with a little bit of water. That way they've got several days to plump up. I'm not necessarily trying to root them. I'm just giving them hydration. This is actually from Happy Harold. I just dropped this in there a few minutes ago. These two are from one called Cool White. It'll usually plump the leaves up, even if they're nice, fat, healthy leaves anyway. It still sometimes will make them even stiffer and plumper. I don't know if that's because they don't have to compete with the other leaves or something. I'm not sure. If I get a leaf that does not plump up or doesn't want to, stay hydrated sitting in water, that one gets tossed. It's probably not going to root anyway, so I'll toss it. It's a good way to kind of get rid of some of the ones that you don't want. Anyway, this gives you a little bit of leeway, a little bit of time. At that point, I'll drop them into just my regular potting, African violet potting mix that I use, that I've talked about in other videos. And I also spoke about it on another video also about leaving yourself room for babies to come out, not planting them too deep, and how you position them so that you can get the babies back out around them. But usually in about 5, 6, 7 weeks, that's when I start seeing babies pop up all around the leaves. Some of them are faster and some of them are slower. This particular variety right here called Evelyn, you just drop a leaf on dirt and it roots and sprouts very quickly. These little ones, this little miniature right here, I believe it's called Aztec, same thing. It just sprouts very, very quickly. Another one over here called Goldeneye, you drop that leaf on dirt and it sprouts. There's others, and Happy Harold was one of them. We're going to try this one again, but I have yet to get Happy Harold to grow very well for me. I don't know if it's just because it's a variegated type or what, but I have variegated types that root and get babies off very, very quickly, no problem. But some of them are a little bit easier than others. Some of them don't want to root very well, some of them will. Let me see, here's a little new camera. But you can see there's little babies popping up right there, and that's combustible pigeon, those on that side are. There's a Goldeneye right there, with a little baby popped out right there. I don't know if you can see if it's focusing correctly. And these have been down about 5, 6 weeks, and that's what you'll see, little babies start to pop up like that. I have real good success with them, too much success with them actually. The biggest thing I have is it's hard not to cull, and you have to cull. If you get a whole bunch of, sorry about the movements again, you get a bunch of babies like this, I mean, you have to go through there and throw some out. You have to cull. You can keep them all if you want to, but to me it's just not worth it. I'll keep the best and throw the rest away. You just get so many. That's just off a couple of leaves, and there's probably, 5 or 6 babies right there, and there's probably, I don't know, 10, 7, 8 babies right there of Evelyn. Again, that's a very prolific one. Roots very, very easily. Anyway, that's all I do. I put them in a little bit of water at first. That gives me a little bit of time. You don't have to plant them right away that way. And it seems to plump up the leaf. But one thing I will do is before I plant it, I will cut that stem off. Oh, sorry about that. I will cut that stem off freshly before I plant that. And again, make sure you leave room for the babies to come up. Position the leaf correctly, so you're not going to have hinder yourself later on when the babies do try and pop out. Have a wonderful day. Keep those questions coming. Get out and work in your garden. It's Sunday. Go buy another orchid today. Go buy a violet or a Rex begonia or something, but go hit a garden center today and see what you can find. Have a wonderful day.